What is up, all my lovely aviators? Randomed787 here. So today we got some interesting new info regarding some of the new aircraft coming to Flight Simulator 2024 from 3 of the developers. That is Got Friends, Miltech Simulations, and the Hype Performance Group. So let's go right in and dive into some of the details. Alrighty, starting off with the list, we're going to start with the planes from Got Friends. And the first one we're going to start with is the Aero Elvira Optica, or Elvira. I forgot how it's pronounced. So, this plane has been completely reinvented for Flight Simulator 2024. It was in 2020, but it is taking full advantage of the features in 2024. And the developers describe it basically as a helicopter with wings. It was actually used by police to patrol highways and check out nature reserves. It comes in 2 variants, and one is the 300 series, and that one comes with a camera which you can adjust settings to infrared hot or cold, or you can choose the regular color view, and it can also display your latitude and longitude. And some other interesting features about the plane: it has an 8-hour flight time duration, which is quite a bit for a plane this small. And it has a very flexible cruise speed from 45 to 110 knots. The next plane that Got Friends showed off was their STEMI S12G glider. This is a motor glider that's powered by a petrol engine, so it's not electric, which is kind of surprising, but interesting. It has a 25-meter wingspan, or for those of us in the US, that is 82 feet. Yeah, this thing is a beast. And one cool thing about this, and this is something I mentioned in a video a while ago, but this actually has working solar panels that can actually help power the glider, which is just literally insane that they can even simulate that. It also comes with a new LX navigation system that has thermal tracking, multiple pages that are fully customizable, units that can be changed such as knots to kilometers per hour, distance from miles to kilometers, etc. And the variometer also comes with several features, including 360 thermal track, wind indicator, and attitude indicator, and some additional settings that can also be adjusted. This glider can also be taxied like a normal plane, which is freaking awesome, so it doesn't need to be launched by a crew. And that's mainly because of where the landing gear is positioned. It's kind of more of a tail dragger configuration. You got the main wheels in the front, and then you got the tail wheel in the back. Really freaking cool, but apparently you got to be a little bit extra careful when you're taxiing this because of the large wingspan. And lastly, regarding this glider, it has fully modeled wing flex. So for those of you who are really picky on the wing flex, myself included, especially when it comes to gliders, don't worry, Got Friends has got you covered. Got Friends also showed off another motor glider, and this one is the Pipistrel Taurus M. The only real differences with this one is that it's a much shorter wingspan, and it comes with a wooden prop. And a really cool thing about this prop, and I'm sure this probably maybe has to do with the previous glider too, they didn't say anything, but just like the real glider, you actually have to be below a certain speed in order for the propeller to stop. So you can't be going like super fast and then just turn off the prop. You got to actually slow down just like the real glider. I think it has something to do with overstressing the engine. I'm not exactly sure what the reason is, but that's just such a cool little detail that they even bother adding in. And 2 things to mention about this glider that are very similar to the previous glider that we mentioned. This can also be taxied to the runway, and that is due to the position of landing gear. Again, it's like a tail dragger configuration. And this also has solar powers, but if you turn on the engine, that will also power the batteries. And for those of you who like to do gliding the old school way when it comes to taking off, don't worry, Got Friends has got you covered as well on this. You can do it by tow plane or winch. It comes with both a belly hook and a nose hook, so you're good to go. The next plane that Got Friends showed off was the Draco X, and yeah, this thing is a beast. So, starting off, it is a plane that has a 5-blade, 1,000 horsepower turboprop engine. Did I mention that this thing was a beast? Because this thing is a pretty big beast. When it comes to the career mode, it's going to be part of the light cargo, search and rescue, passenger transport, sightseeing, and private charter missions. So, for those of you wondering if this is going to be able to be used in career mode or a ton of careers, well, you got your answer here, and I'm sure there's going to be a lot of people using this plane. One interesting thing to note, just to show you how much of an awesome bush plane this is, this plane comes with reverse thrust. So if you're in a tight spot, either in the mountains or in a parking area, just turn on the reverse thrust and boom, your plane backs right up, no problem. And one cool little detail that Got Friends just did not need to add, but they just bothered anyway because they're such passionate developers. This plane comes with a blood oxygen system that actually works. Well, I mean, it doesn't actually measure your actual blood oxygen. That would be a little creepy, honestly, but it's a fully functioning thing in the plane that you can use. Just, again, an unnecessary detail, but it's just so awesome that they even bother to add it in regardless. And as you can see in this video, this developer from Got Friends mentioned that he's only taxing at 2% power, and look how fast this thing is going. That just goes to show you just how powerful this freaking engine is. And again, speaking more about this powerful engine, this is something that the real Draco does. When you increase the power, like say, if you turn on the parking brake and you apply, like say, full power or a lot of power, the actual landing gear will squat down. And that's something that's fully simulated in this plane. And another cool thing, the airflow from the prop wash can actually be seen flowing over the rudder and elevator, and that even translates to the actual controls inside the cockpit too. The amount of detail in this Draco X is astounding. Also inside the cockpit, actually, just like the Optica we talked about earlier, there's actually an IR camera or an infrared camera built into this one too, which is awesome. And also, just look at this video right here. Look how insanely fast this thing takes off. And it just keeps climbing. This thing just does not want to stop climbing. I cannot tell you how excited I am to freaking fly this thing. Also, during this part of the video, when the Draco X is climbing out, Got Friends also showed off that this plane has working door seals that can be inflated to isolate outside noises, and they say you'll be able to hear the differences as well. And then they also showed off all the lights that this plane has. Apparently, this plane's got a lot of them. I'm telling you, out of all if I can even speak, out of all the planes Got Friends is making, this one I think is easily my most anticipated. The attention to detail in this is literally out of this world. The last plane that Got Friends showed off was the Northern Savage, and I'm not gonna lie, I wasn't really expecting that much when I first heard about it. I'm like, alright, just another tail dragger, but there's actually a surprisingly decent amount of detail in this. For starters, this plane has a banner towing hook, which is one of the variants, and the others include light cargo transport and passenger transport. It also comes with a notepad that can toggle certain features like cockpit vibration, livery selection, headphones, a smoke generator, and a sleeping bag. I'm gonna be honest, I was more impressed with this bush plane than I thought I would be. I'm actually kind of excited to try it out, mainly based on its level of detail and just how fun it actually looks to fly around, because as excited as I am about the Draco X, I can't lie, the super powerful engine could get a little annoying after a while because it's just so damn sensitive, I guess, but I don't know, I'm still excited to fly this Northern Savage. It looks freaking awesome. The next plane on our list is from Miltech Simulations, and that is the C-17 Globemaster III. And oh boy, is this thing gonna be fun, but it's also very complex. So let's go over some of the details. First off, just to show you how much of a, I know I use this word a lot, of a beast this plane is. It can make surprisingly short takeoffs and landings on runways as short as 3,500 feet. That is insanely small. The developers claim that this is pretty much almost a study level aircraft, but they did say they couldn't get all the way to that point, mainly due to it being an active military aircraft and having classified material. It also comes with a 70-page manual if you want more information about the aircraft, so this isn't just going to be your get in and take off type of airplane. There's a lot of detail being put into this. The C-17 also comes with its own EFB and can be used to use custom loads for the airplane, such as heavy armored vehicles, presidential limos, and others. And all the custom loads are fully modeled in the cargo bay. So whatever setting you set it to, whichever cargo you want, you'll actually be able to see it in the cargo bay. And notice how I said you'll be able to see it in the cargo bay? Well, guess what? There is a fully modeled cargo bay that you can actually walk around in by getting out from your pilot seat and just walking over there. Now, it's not like the walk around feature. You just, adjust the camera settings to walk around like you would in a cabin, like say on the I don't know, like the Phoenix Airbus or something like that, where you got a fully modeled cabin. So it's a fully modeled cargo bay. It comes also with a rest area and a fully modeled laboratory. This thing is insane. The plane also has a fully customized fly-by-wire system, and it can be disabled at any time if you wish to do so. And it can also perform tactical descents. The real-life plane, however, can use reverse thrust mid-air to help with the descent. It's not currently possible in Flight Simulator 2024, but the developers are actively working on it. All of the doors on the C-17 are fully animated, and yes, one of the cool things you can do is open the cargo bay door open in flight, just like you can in the movies like we've always seen. But you actually need hydraulic pressure to actually open them, which is a really cool detail. I'm glad they added it in. And for those of you wondering, can I just drop stuff out of the plane? The devs are looking into you being able to drop cargo from the plane. They haven't been able to do it yet, but I'm not gonna lie, I would really just love to start dropping tanks over suburban areas. I just think that'd be pretty freaking hilarious. The plane also has a working weather radar, but I'm not really sure how accurate it is, but it is demonstrated in the stream though. One of the very cool little details that this plane has is that when it comes to the engine wake effects, you'll actually see it blow water, snow, and dust like you could see in this video right here. Again, just the attention to detail that we're getting with some of these default planes. Now, granted, this is a premium deluxe airplane, but still, the fact that they're even doing that just blows my mind. Remember how with the Draco X, I said it had a lot of lights? Well, the C-17 pretty much dwarfs that in comparison, and all of them are modeled accurately. So, you can see in the video here, this plane has a lot of working lights, and I'm actually excited to see just how much detail they put into this. Regarding the career mode for this plane, it will be available in the remote cargo operations, so for those of you who want to use it in career mode, you'll be able to. And when it comes to wing flex, it is going to be in the plane, but probably not at launch because the devs aren't 100% satisfied with it yet, but they are actively working on it, and I appreciate them, even with a small detail like this, that they just don't want to rush it out. Really shows the passion that they have for this plane. And the last aircraft on our list, or should I say helicopter, is the Airbus H225 helicopter from the Hype Performance Group. It'll come in two variants, the search and rescue and civilian. It'll be able to do passenger transport, cargo transport, and like I mentioned before, search and rescue operations. It has a fully modeled cabin, all the doors are fully animated, and the hoist is fully operable on the search and rescue variant. And someone did ask a question if this will come in a firefighter variant, but the developer might implement it someday. I mean, it will look pretty cool. This helicopter does look like it could be a firefighting type of helicopter, so I actually would like to see that. As for me, if you guys have seen one of my previous videos, I am not much of a helicopter guy at all, but I'm not gonna lie, this looks very detailed, very well done, and I'll obviously check it out. Apparently, it also has a fly-by-wire system in it, so I've never flown a helicopter in Flight Simulator that has fly-by-wire, so I'm intrigued by that. Maybe I'll actually not suck at flying this one. Well, guys, that's gonna do it for this video. I want to know in the comments below which of all these aircraft that I talked to you about today has you the most intrigued. Or, if it wasn't in this list, what plane are you looking most forward to flying in Flight Simulator 2024? Let me know in those comments below. Now, also be sure to hit that like button and subscribe if you want to see more. And until next time, guys, I will catch you all in the next one. Peace out and happy flying.